Good morning, everyone. We are joined today by NASCAR Chairman and CEO Brian France. Brian will give a few opening comments, and then we'll go into our normal Q&A session. Brian?
Good morning, everyone. And obviously, we're one way or the other this weekend. We're going to make a little bit of history, or a lot of history, depending on how it goes. Jimmie Johnson could make history with his fourth consecutive championship, quite an accomplishment. We could make history if Mark Martin, if Jimmy has a problem and Mark Martin wins the championship, be the oldest driver in NASCAR to win a title. Or we could make history either way when Rick Hendrick, if Rick Hendrick, and he will, wins his 9th championship and ties Richard Petty. So either way, however it goes out this weekend, it will culminate a good season of racing, and we're excited about that, and whatever the outcome is. Obviously, the big thing is the dominance of Jimmie Johnson and in the 48 team and what they've been able to accomplish. It could not have been, I don't think even the historians in the past that were looking at different things in any particular season could have predicted how successful they are, how good they are, and everyone at NASCAR certainly congratulates them. We have had on balance, a very good season. You expect me to say that, but it has been. We're not without our ups and downs, and in a long season with as many races as we have, we're going to have some of those, but we're real pleased with a lot of the things that we did accomplish through what still remains a very difficult economy, very difficult on our race fans. We're very continue to be pleased with the initial promise to the teams that we were going to react in an accelerated fashion if we could, with everything from testing to rules packages and everything in between, with policy to see if we could take additional cost out of their race operation budgets. We've done that in a lot of ways. We'll be doing more of that because obviously it's important, and obviously we don't believe that 2010 looks, from just a pure economy standpoint and what we're hearing from our fans, an awful lot better. So we'll be having that accelerated thought in mind for our teams to continue to help them as they have the sponsorship front is getting better. There are companies joining the sport, and that's encouraging, but it's still not what we all anticipate and hope it will be in the future. The tracks, I want to say, have reacted to these issues very well, and here in South Florida or anywhere on the circuit, tracks have taken incredibly big steps to be mindful of this economy. They've cut ticket prices pretty drastically. They've worked with hotels all over in every market to try to get better fares, better rates. They've worked with all the pricing that they possibly could control to lower prices, whether it's merchandise, whether it was food and beverage, just trying to do everything they can to realize that, in particular in a lot of places that we race, like Michigan or California, that have been very harder hit than other parts of the Midwest and the Northeast. And mindful that a number of places we go, unemployment is high. They're hearing that from their ticket customers and all the rest. So my hope is that and my belief is that they'll continue that. We will continue our part in making it more affordable for the teams to race. We're working with them in a substantial way to help the sponsorship piece, which they're so reliant on, and we're all relying on, do as well as it can do. And certainly with the team, with the car manufacturers, and we're certainly happy that all the car companies have stabilized. We didn't know this a year ago, what all would have occurred and transpired, but it did. And the good news is they're out and doing business and doing better than they had been in the past. That's a very encouraging thing because they're a very integral part of what happens at NASCAR. So we've worked carefully with all of those companies to make sure that they stayed in NASCAR. They got good value, and we're a big part of what they do in the future. And on balance, that was all achieved, no small thing on everyone's part. So, you know, when you look at all the things that, you know, I talked to you in February that, you know, where we're going to have full fields and all national divisions. There were a lot of, you know, question marks there, and where we're going to have this was going to happen or that was going to happen. And on balance, we got through things fairly well, not easily, but we're poised to get on to the off season and give everybody a much needed break, including a lot of people in this room. And with that, I will be happy to take any questions.
We'll open up to questions from media. As always, get your hands up. I'll make a list and state your name and affiliation. We'll start with Tom.
Brian, Tom Jensen, SpeedTV.com. We're all familiar with the challenges in the economy going on these days. Where do you see opportunities for NASCAR that maybe you haven't looked at before, or new things coming on deck for 2010?
Well, you know, to me, it's about making sure that the race teams, starting with the teams that they have their new business model figured out, because it's changed drastically. Same with our tracks. So I would say that's still the priority. Obviously, we're you know, on our way to doing some things that are going to be more appealing to what we see as an emerging green economy, where new companies, new technologies are coming out, and they're going to need to build their brands and build their companies' awareness and their technologies, and we're going to be a very, very important place for those companies to invest in the future. So we're doing a lot of things in that area that give us will give us a chance to convince them to join into this sport. And then, you know, we obviously have a variety of things. We've got the new car coming online that everybody's very excited about in the Nationwide Series, and we have the car in the Sprint Cup Series. I think where most of the teams and drivers have now figured that car out and then some, and the racing always can be better, but we're looking to keep building on that. So we got a lot of things going into and then we're going to have a, you know, historic thing, because you know, it's very likely that Jimmy Johnson's going to be a reigning four-time. I mean, I can't say that with any more admiration than I have, and what that means to the historic dynamics of this sport. And can he go for number 5? And we'll be looking at all the things that you would expect us to look at in the off season to make the racing in 2010 even better.